Today we'll see Unit 4 Power Screws, and in this subtopic is derivation on a torque required to raise the load. You can see it is a plane inclined at an angle alpha. This plane is unfold helix. Within one rotation of a screw, distance traveled by screw is equal to pitch. Here it is assumed that it is a single start screw. So in a case of single start screw, lead is equal to pitch. So here it is L is equal to pitch. So within one revolution of a screw, distance traveled by screw is equal to circumference, that is pi d, and linear distance, that is vertical distance traveled, will be equal to lead. L is equal to pitch, and angle of a helix is alpha. If in this figure, if we want to raise the load, if I want to draw the free body diagram for a force, in this case motion is a upward direction. So frictional force will be in the opposite direction. Then weight of the object which you want to raise, which will act in the W always act in the downward direction. So here it is shown W, which is acting in the downward direction. Then here there is a contact between surface and an object. So every object will give reaction on the surface. Every surface will give reaction on the object. So here it is shown Rn, and P efforts required to raise the load. P efforts required to raise the load. So first we'll see W is acting through CG, which is in a downward direction. As object is sliding on the surface, surface will provide reaction, and this reaction is vertically upward direction. We want to raise the load, so frictional force will act in the opposite direction, and it is shown by mu Rn. Right? Now, as for load, raise and effort P is applied on the nut, and for one complete revolution of a nut, screw will move axially. If we want to resolve the forces, they are shown over here. W cos alpha, which is acting at an angle alpha. If I want and here it is W sine alpha. Same way, if we resolve P along the direction of a reaction and a motion, then it will be P sine alpha and P cos alpha. Now, according to law, summation of all the forces in x direction equal to 0, that is summation fx equal to 0, and according to force diagram, we can see we will take rightward forces positive and leftward forces negative. Same way, for downward and upward forces, we have to take the sign. Now, in this case, first we will see summation fx is equal to 0. P cos alpha is acting upward direction, so it is rightward, so it is a positive, and mu Rn and W sine alpha, they are acting in the downward direction. So summation fx is equal to 0. So P cos alpha minus W sine alpha minus mu Rn is equal to 0. So P cos alpha is equal to W sine alpha plus mu Rn is equal to 1. Now, resolving the forces normal to the plane of a thread profile, in a vertical plane, summation Fy is equal to 0. In this case, upward forces will take positive and downward forces negative. So Rn upward, so positive. Rn minus P sin alpha minus W cos alpha is equal to 0, and so Rn is equal to P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. So we get these two equations. First one is a P cos alpha is equal to W sin alpha plus mu Rn, and second is Rn is equal to P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. Now, substituting, now we'll see first torque required to raise the load. Substituting equation 2, that is a value of Rn in equation 1, we'll get P cos alpha is equal to W sin alpha plus mu Rn, that is P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. You can see here P cos alpha is W sin alpha plus mu Rn. You have to just put the value of Rn in equation 1. Okay, value of Rn in equation 1. So after putting this value, P cos alpha is W sin alpha plus mu Rn. Rn is a P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. So P cos alpha is W sin alpha plus mu P sin alpha plus mu W cos alpha. Then we will take P terms on one side and W terms on another side. So it will be P cos alpha minus mu P sin alpha is equal to W sin alpha plus mu W cos alpha. So P common, we'll take P common, it will be P into cos alpha minus mu sin alpha is equal to W sin alpha plus mu cos alpha. So P is equal to W into sin alpha plus mu cos alpha divided by cos alpha minus mu sin alpha. But what is the relationship between coefficient of friction and thread angle? That is mu is equal to tan phi. Mu is equal to tan phi. So it is that is a friction angle. Tan phi is a friction angle. So relationship between coefficient of friction and friction angle is mu is equal to tan phi. So it is equal to sin phi divided by cos phi. So value of mu is now in terms of sin phi and cos phi, that is in terms of friction angle we are giving. So P is equal to W into sin alpha plus sin phi divided by cos phi into cos alpha and divided by cos alpha minus sin phi divided by cos phi into sin alpha. So after expansion it will be P equal to W into sin alpha into cos phi plus sin phi into cos alpha divided by cos phi divided by cos alpha into cos phi minus sin phi into sin alpha divided by cos phi, right? And so P equal to W into sin alpha cos phi plus sin phi into cos alpha divided by cos alpha cos phi minus sin phi sin alpha. So it is a expansion of what? Sin A plus B. So this is the expansion of a sin A plus B, and this is the expansion of cos A plus B, right? So here angle is alpha and phi. So P is equal to W into sin alpha plus phi divided by cos alpha plus phi. So P is equal to W into tan alpha plus phi. So effort required to raise the load is W into tan alpha plus phi. And what will be torque? Torque T1, which is required to raise the load, is P into radius, and that is P into dm by 2. Here mean radius is taken. We will put value of P, that is T1 is equal to W tan alpha plus phi into dm by 2. Now if the load is taken by the thrust collar, so load should not rotate with a screw, then torque required to overcome the friction is also there, and that is calculated by uniform pressure theory or by uniform wear theory. So torque required to overcome the friction, that is T2, is by uniform pressure theory 2 by 3 mu W into R1 cube minus R2 cube divided by R1 square minus R2 square, where R1 is outer radius of the